Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Raid Shadow Legends video, I'm going to be busting open 100 different shards. I'm going to bust open 50 Ancients, 20 Voids, 10 Primals, and 20 Sacreds. So we've got a decent chance of getting some legendaries from this, as well as a small chance of a mythical. But it is a very low chance, 0.5% chance, and the only shard you can get these from are these Primals. But hey, you've got to be in it to win it, and you never know. Someone did say before in the comments when I was opening some Primals, you should wait till there's a ×2 chance or something like that. But then someone else said, but those events only come around once or twice a year, where you get that ×2 chance or something like that. And it's like, well, I can't be bothered to wait that long. I'm feeling lucky. I've got my lucky cup of tea by my side, and I'm feeling lucky. So we'll see what happens there. And we've got a progressive chance on all of these. So basically, I hope that comes into play. I'm not going to bother with the mystery shards. I'm not worried about them. I'm just going to open these 100 different ones here and see if we get some really decent troops out of it. Now, speaking of decent troops, if you download the game using my link in the description below or the QR code up top, you'll start off with a fantastic epic troop, who is Ugo. When you reach level 15, she will be yours, and she's absolutely amazing. Can revive the whole team. It's absolutely nuts, absolutely fantastic. Just a brilliant way to start the game. So hit the link in the description below or the QR code up top. Level 15, you get Ugo, and you get Tag War absolutely straight away, as well as a bunch of other stuff like some silver, some energy refills, XP, brew magic, and more. So right, let's crack on with the video, quite literally. Let's go to this. Let me just check I've cleared enough space. I think I did. Chucked a bunch of these into my champion vaults. Another new thing I discovered about the game, the little things, because I've only been playing this game for a month, remember. I only discovered this recently, the champion vaults, really handy. What I was doing was literally just like clearing off so many spaces, opening some shards, and having to repeat the process and just do it again and again. But then press this button here, and I found like how handy these vaults were, where you can just store some of the champions you're not too bothered about using right now, and make some space. So right, let's see what happens. I'm going to start off with the ancient shards. Rare, epic, or legendary. You've got 50 of these. It is a progressive chance. Shall I do these? Because they're ancients. I've done it. Sometimes you kind of feel you're better off opening these one at a time. But that's going to take ages for these. And you feel like there's more of a better chance of getting the epic or legendary if you open a bunch at a time. I don't know if that's just me or not, or the way things are, but it will take forever otherwise. I will open these one at a time, but I'm going to open these ancient ones, I think, 10 at a time. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to let the animation happen. I'm going to see them one at a time. Doing nothing so far. Nope. Nothing too fantastic from there, but it's okay. He says, crying into his tea. Right, let's do that again. Lots of bluey stuff. Okay. Do it again. Come on. You know you want to give me something good. I'm going to sip my tea right now. Well, it didn't give me my usual power, but we'll hope it will go into this next set here. Come on! Stop mucking around and stop. Oh, we got a epic husk. Oh no, another Vogoth. I've got Vogoth already, but that's okay. I'll take another one. Really good troop, this one. Really, really good. Absolutely fantastic. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of one random debuff on the target by 1 turn. But attacks all enemies. Has a 60% chance of placing a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Also has a 60% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns on targets who receive the provoke debuff from this skill. But check this out. This is what makes this person, this thing, this creature so good. Whenever this champion is attacked, heals all allies by 50% of the damage received. Only heals by 25% of the damage received from boss attacks. This champion only receives half of the heal that all other allies receive. But yes, so good. It's absolutely nuts. What a troop this is. Vogoth, if you've popped that when you're opening your shards, then be happy. Right, next ones. Have a look at that husk later on. Don't know if that's a good one or not. Excuse me. Oh yeah, we got another epic. Let's have a quick look at this chappy. Put down, attacks one enemy, places an extra hit if the target has any debuffs. That's cool. Ascended skill, attacks one enemy, places an extra hit if the target has any debuffs. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. Oh, that's good. So it literally just stops the revive in its tracks. Well, that's nifty. That could, yeah, not bad. I like that. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a block buff debuff for 2 turns. Then places a block active skills debuff for 1 turn if this skill does not place a block buff's debuff. Decreases bomb debuff detonation countdowns by 1 turn when Talia is on the same team. So you have to have Talia on the same team to make the most out of that. Maybe that's his a better half or his other half, or I don't know, maybe just a friend. Who knows? Someone does. And I will find out eventually. Sal Feebleness attacks one enemy. I don't know why I found that funny. Has a 60% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff debuff and a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Damage based on attack. So yeah, sounds like an interesting one, that. Very good. Right, let's crack on with the next. Come on. Be cheeky and give me something mega good. Oh, we got another epic. Skuramis. Oh, that's a nice graphics. Very shiny and nice. Look at that. Got an elaborate outfit there. Can't imagine it's much good for running fast. So let's see what the skills are. Attack is ironically called Outpace. Attacks one enemy, has an 80% chance of stealing 15% of the target's turn meter. So that's good, because it'll take it away from them and give it to you. Has a 20% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn if the target's turn meter is fully depleted by this skill. Alright, okay, cool. Attacks, effortless superiority. That sounds good on its own. Attacks all enemies, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. Also has a 60% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And fills this champion's turn meter by 10% for each buff that has its duration decreased. Cool. Hold the front. Hold the door. Hold the front. Hold the front door. Maybe. Has a 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Places a counter attack and a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 2 turns. Pretty sweet. Not bad, not bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, I think, are we out of them? I think we are. Yes, we didn't get any legendaries from that. It is what it is. But let's go for the void shards next. Rare, epic, and legendary. So from these void shards, 91.5% chance of getting a rare. So 9 out of 10 chance basically it's going to be a rare. 8% chance of getting an epic. And a 0.5% chance of getting a legendary. Let's see what happens. I'm only going to bust open one at a time. Looks like that's the only... What? What have I done? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That's what I've done. Void shards. I was like, what's going on here? It's ripping me off. It says I haven't got any, and I have. Right, so let's start with the void shards. I'm only going to open one at a time because it's more exciting that way. It's blue. He is a rage monger. I do like some of the names of these things. A rage monger. It's another bluey. Kind of like that fanatic. It's good graphics though. It's got all these heads everywhere. Anyway. Come on. Let's see some different colours. It's another blue. Ashwalker. Oh! It's purple. That's an epic. Mystery Vanguard. I vaguely remember this one. I might have this already. See if I recognise it. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff on the target for 2 turns. Burrow Bolt. Ignore any increased defense and strengthen buffs, as well as 20% of the target's defense. If this attack kills an enemy, it increases the duration of all buffs on on this champion by 1 turn. And ready, aim, fire. Places a 50% increase attack buff and a 30% increase critical damage buff on this champion for 3 turns, then grant an extra turn. Extra turns are always good. Okay, sounds alright. Sounds alright. Next. Come on, I want to see that colour that we love. Well, this is some orangey stuff. Not a Draconis with a bad bear and a beard and a chiseled chin face. Good hair though. Looks like he wears hairspray maybe. Cold Heart, level 1. She's got some serious undergarments there, holding stuff in place. Make sure she don't drop out during battle. It's important to do. Make sure, you know, it could be a good distraction though in battles. You know, imagine that. Like, talk about keeping your eyes on the prize. Another blue, and he looks like he could use a pie or two. Definitely. Mate, have some munch, have a pie, have some pork chops, have a bit of bacon, get some grub down ya. Blue again. Oh, she's bouncing forward. Okay. Skirmisher. Cagehead. I didn't even know his name. I just called him Cagehead. He was cage bound. And no surprise is how he got his name there. Another blue one. He looks like he fell off the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Never mind. Huntress. Okay. Come on, need some lucky tea going on here. Oh, let's see how lucky tea we get an epic. And Rasia. She's got a blinking great shield, I know that much. You wouldn't be able to see her if she put that shield in front of her. She'd be called Where'd She Goes. Where I can't even see her. No. I thought of a joke then, thought I had a joke, but I didn't. Anyway. Censorious Bludgeon. Attacks one enemy. Has a 40% chance of placing a 25% decrease critical damage debuff for 2 turns. Damage is based on defense. Attacks one enemy. Has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn if the target does not have any active buffs. Has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns if the target does not have any active buffs. Right, for some reason I feel like I've got to read that about 3 times to get that in my brain properly, but hey ho, it is what it is. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. Increases the duration of all increased defense buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Let's look at this one again. Attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. The target does not have any active buffs. Has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns. Right. I think I'm just saying buff like way too much, and it's like crunching my brain. Marquith. Mark to his mates. Got that one already. I recognise her. Retender. Cold Heart. Yep. Come on, more blue stuff. Don't want blue stuff. I want Ripper Fist. Cool name though. Salinia Nightcloak. Do like the names of some of these champions in this game. Very cool. Ashwalker, another one of him. Walks on the cigarette butts. People tip out of their car windows. Maybe. Stitched Beast. Is he stitched? Well, I suppose. Yeah, he's got bits hanging off everywhere, so bits poking out as well. It's like, don't know about stitched. Needs some bandages first. Hello, she's bouncing forward there. Mal Branch. Fair enough, we say no more. And that is it for the void charge. So we got no legendaries from them, but we did get some good epics, so that's cool. Right, so next I think we're going to go for the... Should we go for the mythicals next? In the primals, or should we go for the sacreds? Good thing about sacreds is you're guaranteed epics all the way as an absolute minimum. The high chance of legendaries. So I'm going to do the primals now. I'm going to do the primals next. Right, this is exciting. Alright, here we go. Come on, give me a mythical. I've had no legendaries so far. Sipping my lucky tea. So we must get a lucky break. Right, here we go. 50,000 per pop. Come on! No. Tree fella. Actually fell out of a tree? It looks like a girl. Can't be a tree fella. It looks like a tree girl. Do you see? My jokes are bad. I know, but I can't help it. It's the way that I roll. Gee, look at this thing. Fury... Oh my god, I misread that then. I read that as Fury Stroker. I was going to say that's a bit rude. But he's a Fury Stoker. And yes. Looks like he's had a roll around in the vegetation area. That is a big scythe. A lamabur. Again, someone else looks like they could do with a pie or two. Come on, too much blue going on, Mr. Chopper. Just because you got two axes. Didn't take him too long to think up that name for that one, did it? He's got two axes, he chops stuff. What should we call him? Someone puts their hand up. Chopper. Done. Headsman. Right. Another rare. Come on, let's do better than this. Marauder. Come on, this is Primal Shards. Give me something good. A fencer. If you need your fence fixing, if you've got a hole in your fence, you've had a bit of wind or rabid badgers come just bashing through it and needs repair, you phone her up and she'll come around and get it sorted out. Come on. Oh, we've got an epic at least. Gizcard the Sigiled? Another one with a massive great shield. Let's see what it does. Foe Breaker. Attacks one enemy. Has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for one turn. Okay. Lion's Roar. Attacks all enemies. Has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for one turn. Also places a shield buff on this champion equal to 25% of their max health points for 2 turns. Field of Strength places a 60% increase defense buff and a 50% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Excuse me. And unlocked at Essential Level 3. Egotist fills this champion's turn meter by 15% whenever they are attacked by an enemy under provoke debuff or increase attack buff. Okay. Initially didn't sound anything too fantastic, but hey, it is what it is. Come on, please go red. No. We've only got one more chance. Come on. Come on. I know it's 0.5% chance. The odds are like 1 in 200. It's progressive chance and it's a blue one and it's an adjudicator. Right, well, you go adjudicate your way over to those mythicals, wherever they're hiding. And you don't worry about sorting your rare out. Go over and sort out where these legendaries and these mythicals are hiding, because it's not on. Right, so here we go. We have 20 sacred shards now. So from this, we're guaranteed epics all the way. And we've got a decent chance of getting a legendary out of this, because there's a 6% chance, which is way, way higher than it is for any other shards for legendary. And opening 20 of these, technically, mathematically, if everything's being equal in the world, and it's not how maths work, but we should actually pull at least one legendary from these. So let's see what happens. Right, 100 grand a pop. Guaranteed an epic. Let's see at least one legendary. Yes! Yes! Straight away! I'm doing a happy dance. I don't know if he's any good or not. Arashi the Riptide. He looks quite happy about himself. Looks like a bit like a ninja combined with a samurai. Let's have a look at him. Legendary. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 75% chance of stealing 1 random buff. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. Okay. Nautical Assassin. What, he goes under the water? Will ignore 25% of the target's defense as well as shield and strengthen buffs. Will also ignore stone skin buffs if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. If this attack kills an enemy, increase the duration of all buffs on this champion by 1 turn. So it sounds like it goes well with the first one. Riptide's Onslaught. Attacks all enemies. Get off. I was reading stuff. Before attacking, it places a Perfect Veil buff and a 30% increased critical damage buff on this champion for 2 turns. This attack deals single target damage to each target individually, rather than AoE damage. Will ignore 15% of the first enemy's defense. After hitting the first enemy, will hit every other enemy. Following the initial attack, each subsequent hit ignores 5% more of the target's defense and will stack up to 35%. For each enemy killed by this attack, increases this champion's HP by 5% and will stack up to 30%. Great, there's a lot to remember about this fella just on that one thing alone. And it's got this one here, Pirate Lord, a passive effect. Passive effects are good, that means they're active all the time. At the start of each round, places a Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn. Has a 20% chance to reflect all damage and debuffs this champion receives back to the attacker. Wow, that's good. So roughly 1 in 5 times, that will reflect the damage back to the attacker. Really good. An active effect, if the reflected damage kills an enemy, fills this champion's turn meter by 30% and places a Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn. This guy sounds really good. And he's got a speed aura as well. I am liking the sound of this one already. Happy days. Right. We're 1 out of 1 on Sacred Shards for Legendary so far. Let it continue. Come on, let's have another one. It's an epic. But it's all good. Another one with a slight penchant for interesting clothing regarding her top half. But they're not going to slip out as easily as that other one, are they? It's like much more protected in this way. But let's have a quick look at this one. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target. Okay, nothing too fantastic about that. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack buff for 2 turns. Not too bad. And Thick as Thieves places a counter-attack buff on a target ally for 2 turns and places a counter-attack buff for 3 turns instead if the ally is from the Shadowkin faction. So that would be quite effective in faction wars if you can use it against those Shadowkin faction enemies. Then fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% and places a 30% increase critical damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a 30% increase critical rate buff for 2 turns on allies from the Shadowkin faction. And Brethren increases all heals and turn meter fill effects by 20% when used on allies from the Shadowkin faction. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. So yeah, pretty cool. And it's got a speed aura as well. Increases ally speed in faction crits by 24%. Come on, let's have another orange one. Come on. Boom. A Valor. You got a Valor. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Increases the inflicted damage by 15% if the target is under a shield buff. Crush the Wall. Attacks all enemies. Has a 30% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Pretty good. An Ascended skill. Removes all shield buffs on all enemies. Well, that's not bad. Then attacks all enemies. Has a 30% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Fortified Core. Places a shield buff on this champion for 3 turns, equal to 20% of their max HP. Also places a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 3 turns and fills this champion's turn meter by 50%. So not bad. Not bad at all, I don't think. Oh, it's gone. Resolute Defense decreases the damage received by the champion by 15% while under a shield buff. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Come on. Let's go. Purple. Alright, so again. Nice design on the hat and the clothing. Crypt Witch. Attacks one enemy. Deals 30% more damage if the target has any buffs. And the Ascended skill attacks one enemy and deals 30% more damage if the target has any buffs and will ignore shield and block damage. Pretty cool. Dismantle attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 74% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Each hit will also ignore 15% of the target's defense. Attacks one enemy, will ignore 50% of the target's defense if this champion has higher speed than the target. But that's good because we have a speed aura on this. Increases ally speed in faction crypts by 20%. Sounds alright? Come on, go orange. Don't then. Probably won't look at all of these. Otherwise it'd be a super long video. Just going to maybe look at the ones that I recognise or have heard of are particularly good. Really want a man-eater. Man-eater sounds like really, really good to me. Let's crack open another. It's another epic. Marksman. Okay. Speed. Aura. Oh, we've got Ascended skill here. What's this one do? Attacks one enemy. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. And the Ascended skill will also do that, as well as has an extra 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Come on, go orange! The fact I got one early technically means I've got a good chance of getting 2. There's some serious hair going on there from Mrs. Doompriest, or Miss Doompriest, not presuming she's married. Can't blame her for not being married. With that hat. Wow. Signy of High Shield. She certainly doesn't need any more pies. Alright. Enough. Continue. We want more. Come on, give me an orange. Lady Etessa. Well, she sounds posh. Don't know if she is or not though. But she's got a Ascended skill here. Let's have a look. Blessed Missiles. Attacks one enemy. There's a 40% chance of placing a block buff debuff for 2 turns. Attacks one enemy. Has a 74% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. And attacks one enemy with 2 random allies. Oh, this is pretty cool. Damage inflicted by this champion and any allies joining this attack will be increased by 20% if the target is under a fear, a true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun or petrification debuff. Allies joining the attack use their default skills. That is pretty sweet. I like the sound of that one. Interesting. Woohoo! Just done a little twirly there to celebrate. Well done, lass. Come on! Go orange! Arwood Quivergrass. Kind of glad it's got the GR there. That would have been quite an interesting champion otherwise if it didn't have that. Bit of twerking and all that malarkey. Let's crack on. That's another purple. Come on, we need one more legendary at least. Seriously. Yeah, you're just a beast that's apparently terrifying. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, blinker neck. She's a bit scary. I'm moving straight on. Come on, this is progressive chance. That is a seriously busy looking fella. How long does it take him to get dressed in the morning? What the heck? It must take him like 3/4 of an hour just to put his stuff on in the morning. That is some really nice graphics though, some really intricate detail in that. I do love the graphics in this game. That's very impressive looking. But don't know what all this hat stuff's about though, but hey ho, it is what it is. Come on, we've got 7 left. Go orange! What the heck? Malkith Bloodflock. If you say so, pal. Some of these could be really good and I just don't know. Oh, I've already got this one. Don't think she's anything too fantastic. Come on, let's go orange one more time at least. I think I've got that one as well. Football, the beard. The bard. The beard! I saw his beard and called him football, the beard. And it's orange! Who is it going to be? Lunar Thrill. Lunar Thrill. And he's got some busy looking hair going on there. It's taking a while to get that done. But let's have a look. Is it any good or not? Yeah. He. It is a he. He's a high elf. Attacks Gallantry. Attacks one enemy. Destroys the target's max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. Places a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest HP. Okay. Flicker Barrier. Attacks all enemies. Places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. If there are any dead allies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP instead. This buff cannot be removed, stolen, transferred, spread, or have its duration increased or decreased by enemies or allies. That's not bad, that's pretty good. Finest Hour. Places a 30% increase critical damage buff on all allies for 2 turns, then teams up with all allies to attack. Oh, a single enemy, that's quite nice. Teams up with all allies. I love the animations when you see all the enemies attacking a single enemy. It's like really, really good. But the Finest Hour, if it was Finest Hour, it would have a really nice curry with samosas and a cheese naan and stuff like that. And maybe a beer at the same time. That'd truly be the Finest Hour, but hey ho, we'll let that slide. And unlocks at Ascension level 3, Piercer inflicts 20% more damage against targets under shield buffs. So not bad. We got another legendary. Can we get one more? I'm being greedy now. I want another one. There's only 3 chances left. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. No, we can't. 2 chances. Okay, she's slightly odd looking. Maybe because of that strange hair contraption. Ease up! Ease up! Calm down, dear. Didn't only said about your hair. Nothing to get excited about. Come on, 2 left. Let's have one more. Come on. Oh, that is an epic. Romero. It's one of them fellas that thinks he's Mr. Handsome. Because he just sounds a bit like Romeo. But anyway, one more left. Right, I'm going to finish my tea. Right, here we go. Last one. The 100th shard. It's got to be good. Come on. Give me a legendary. Last one. By the power of luckiness. Give me another legendary. In it comes. Orange it is. Kaboom! Oh. And we get someone that looks like a bit of a nurse. Sanguinia. Let's have a look at what she does. It's the last one. Red Punishment attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of decreasing the duration of random buffs on the target by 1 turn. Okay. Holy Blood places a block debuff on all allies for 1 turn and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's not bad, not bad. So pretty good for as a healer by sound of things. Sacrificial Lamb attacks one enemy, has a 74% chance of transferring all debuffs from this target. From this champion to the target, removes all debuffs from all allies except this champion. Not bad. And unlocking it, Ascension level 3 increases ally accuracy in Doom Tower battles by 55. So yeah, okay, not bad. A couple of legendaries there. That's alright. Not too disappointed I didn't get a mythical because it is a 0.5% chance. It's like you got to be seriously lucky to get that or have a serious amount of these to open. But yeah, I'm quite happy with what I got. Ended up some okay stuff. 2 legendaries to have a look at later. Yeah, sort them out by rarity. So I increased my legendaries by 2. I can level them up later and see what happens, see how good they are. And yeah, we'll take it from there. But there it is. There's the video. Remember, free to download game. Absolutely fantastic. You can have a board with this. I'm absolutely loving it. I started playing this and I've just kind of played it more than anything else since. Really have. And you can play it too just by hitting my link in the description below or the QR code up top. And when you do that, you'll get the Epic Troop tag all absolutely straight away. Really, really good early level troop. And when you get to level 15, you'll also get Ugo, who's absolutely awesome. You get that at level 15, and in both cases, you'll get some more silver, magic potions, brews, and all sorts of other stuff at the same time. Too good not to miss out on, or not to get. Too good not to miss out on. Yes, that's the right thing to say. You don't want to miss it, because it's just too good. Especially Ugo. He's absolutely amazing. So there it is. There's the video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.